Level M Diecast, we are bringing you military action today. This is very exciting. First ever Johnny Lightning unboxing on the channel. We are going to be looking at Wheeled Warriors. This is the first set from 2022. These were previously World War II, various names and stuff like that from Johnny Lightning. Wheeled Warriors debuted last year. That was the new change for their military. And then, of course, that carries on to this year as well. We're going to be looking at versions A and B of this mix. A will be on your left, B on your right. First one, taking a look at the Panther G Tank. Cards are red and green, as you can see. And then, of course, you know, not each version is going to be as different as these two are, but this one looks pretty good. You have your dirty sort of camo there and kind of cleaned up. This is more, you know, Europe battle. This is more, you know, kind of deserty looking theme to it. It's cool. Oh, pretty interesting. Johnny Lightning does pretty good job of military models. Speaking of which, this one is absolutely just insane. This is the Abrams M1A1. This one, previously, the sweeper attachment in the front actually was connected to the tank. It was not assembled. You did not have to assemble it in any other way. However, they do make you assemble it now. I do believe that that's probably just to keep the package size down a little bit. You know, when it's on the front here, makes the blister much, much wider. Again, kind of the darker color and then literally just a dirty version of that exact one. This is kind of what they do for the most part. I really like this. It looks pretty good. Just dirty version of the original. Next one up, this is the Dodge Command car. This one is quite different with the attachments and the accessories and whatnot. One on the left does have, you know, the canopy on the top, and it's all nice and clean. One on the right does not have the canopy, plus it has a flag on the front, which is pretty nice. And, of course, it's dirty. Most of them are dirty for the version B. Familiar face, if you're talking about military, of course, it is the Willys Jeep. This one, very, very different between the two. You can see the hood, hood attached, or the hood decos on each side. They are not just a recolor of each one. They are different purpose. So we'll take a look at that. Looks pretty good, though. No canopy on either one of those. Getting modern now. Not everything is classic military. Taking a look at brand spanking new, basically, Hummer. So this Hummer is pretty intense. There's a lot of attachments on it. You got a nice gun turret placement on the top. There's the extended bumper out in the front with the flag attachment on there. You know, basically, it's almost a dirty version of this one, but this one does have some additional differences, green hood and stuff like that. So we'll take a look at all of these. And then the final one is basically your average Humvee. So this is from the United Nations peacekeeping mission, policing Kosovo, it says. Again, brand spanking new, basically right off the factory floor. And then got some combat or some trials and tribulations that it's run through to do its trials to see if it's good enough to hit the battlefield. So let's crack these open and take a look at both A and B of all six. All right, everybody, we're going to kick this off. Panther G Tank. This is version A. Now, they do have functions. Most of them have something, especially like tanks and stuff. The tracks do move, although it's not really designed to do that. The tracks are rubber, but they're very thin. They're very, very fragile. The wheels do rotate, the drive wheels on the front. On the front of it, but not the back of it. No other wheels turn on it. So it's more meant to be just a static model. So when you roll the tracks, I will show you, but that front axle right there does move, but the rest of them do not move at all. And of course, it does have a rotating turret, which does work. So it does rotate. And then, of course, you do have your adjustable gun, just a little bit, not a lot. The machine gun placement on the top does not move. That is fixed. But the casting is solid metal through and through, with the exception of the turret barrel and the tracks. So the whole base and top, even the actual man turret area is all metal. It looks good though. It looks good. I think Johnny Lightning probably makes the best military stuff in this scale. Get that to tighten up. So taking a look, you will see that the axle in the front does move. Let's see if I can get these to move. It's super fragile. So it does rotate and they do roll, but none of these other wheels roll. So, and then just there's the base. Nothing fancy. Does give you the manufacturer date was all the way back in October. These have just literally popped up. So just insane that it takes that long to get here. Version B. This one sits a little wonky. The tracks are a little odd in just kind of the way that they sit. But, you know, this one's got like, you know, basically brand new paint on it. You know, unused, I guess you can say. It looks pretty good. It's military style. I like the first version better. It looks far more appropriate. But this one does look okay. I'm not a huge fan of the military ones when they're clean, because when they're clean, it's just like kind of defeats the whole purpose. So, but it's like, again, it's fine. It's fine. It's basically a recolor of the first one though. Basically. Dodge command car. We're going to be kind of cracking these as we roll through, guys. So we're just going to take a look at these. So the Dodge command car, you know, I don't have too many of these, so I'm not sure how many versions exist. But I've got quite a number of them. This is not a new casting. This casting's been around for quite some time. There's quite a few versions out there. This casting's probably pretty old, actually. It's probably like 15 years old. But you know, Greenlight's still rocking them. They still look good. They pretty much have perfected the military stuff. Of course, everything has rubber tires. It's, you know, it's premium stuff. This one has a canopy. The canopy should be fixed and not removable, which it is. The canopy is fixed. There is some details on it. A lot of nice details on the front of it. Print looks good as always. Some details on this side as well. Again, Johnny Lightning just, you know. So yeah, 2003. So this casting is very, very old. As a matter of fact, this casting is almost old enough to drink. Not quite there, but it's almost there. All right, second version of the Dodge Command car does come with a nice flag attachment on the front, which looks pretty good. No topper on it. It has the top down, essentially. It does have the piece on there for that. You know, Johnny Lightning, I don't believe that they've ever missed a little detail on their military stuff. They're very strict with how they do these. They're very authentic. You know, these are 100% made for collectors. There is no other way around it. These are not meant for any other purpose but to essentially just kind of sit on your shelf, which is perfectly fine. This one, just with the darkness, looks pretty good. Does have one operating feature. The windshield does fold down, which is pretty nice. Does have some spray in there for green tire or green seats, which is a nice little break. Some details there. Armored up, looks pretty good. And again, just ultra detailed base, looks very, very nice. So, pretty nice. I do like the Dodge Command car. I think it's one of the better ones that they do. All right, moving on, Jeep Willys. This is version A. Every one that we look at, guys, version A should be the first one we take a look at, and I'll put version B up second. So Willys Jeep, this does have the Air Force logo on the front of it, the Royal Air Force, not the United States Air Force. This looks pretty good. I especially like the camo in the wheels. That's unreal. We'll take a look at it, but I don't know if that's sprayed. It may even be the plastic. If that's marbled plastic, that's very impressive. That's got to be a relatively expensive feature for them to do. But it looks super, super good. So we're going to take a look at that as soon as you get it rolled around a little bit. No topper, nothing on this one. It is quite detailed on the interior. This guy does have fold down window. This one's super, super stiff. There it goes. Looks pretty good. Kind of pops in there on the top. Got to be super careful with these. They're ultra fragile. I can't even tell you how fragile these things are. There is some super nice detail inside. Even has all your shifters for your 4-wheel drive and everything. Some munition type stuff in the back. Looks very, very, very good. So we'll take a look at those wheels. So that is indeed, I don't know. It could be sprayed. Let's take a look. Oh, can't see the back of the wheel. Well, I think it's sprayed. But it looks really, really good. Either way, it doesn't matter. And then, of course, this guy does have some accessories on the outside with the shovels and stuff. Some details on the front. Details on the back. Spare tire as well. Looks super good. Yeah, I think the tires are like that cream color, and then the 2 greens are sprayed on. But still, that's quite impressive. It's quite impressive. Just pop the windshield back up real quick. All right, we're going to take a look at the second version. This one has the cross on it. I believe this might be for some type of assistance of some sort. Not as aficionado in military stuff as I'd like to be. I do like to collect military stuff, but I'm not super into that kind of stuff. I know that this is not a standard run into battle deco. It does say something on the windshield there. It looks like it might be in German. I'll hold that up here in a minute. Just again, those crazy little details that Johnny Lightning does is just absolutely mind-boggling. They just don't miss those little things. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. This guy will have the same fold-down windshield as well. So the post that's missing right there is for a gun placement. They do have some that have some pretty large caliber weaponry on it. Take a look at that print. If you guys know what that means, definitely drop a comment in down below so I can figure out what the heck that says. So if you guys know what that is, I'm pretty appreciative. So again, just looks good with the Jeep. All right, we're going to move on to the Humvee, which is pretty nice. I actually was going to open the version B first. I apologize. There we go. Nice and clean and spanky new. So this guy has a ton of extras on him. Does have a ridiculous exhaust attachment on it. Also has a snorkel, which is pretty nice. Pretty large caliber machine gun on the top with a pretty sizable mag in there. Looks really, really good. I do wish that the top was open up when they do gun placements like this, because there would be somebody standing up there. But the casting doesn't open up. It doesn't do that. The casting doesn't do anything, as a matter of fact. It's just a rolling chassis, basically. Just a solid thing. No movement from the gun or anything like that, but it looks good. It's meant to be a static model, and that's exactly what it is a nice static display. I especially like the black wheels on the outside of it. Of course, this is military police. MP holding down the forts. So the funny thing about this casting is, so the 2 doors and the whole top piece is one part, and then basically the U shape of the chassis on the bottom is a separate piece. So the reason they do that is so that they can make a 2-door, they can make an open top, they can change the back, stuff like that. Makes the casting very flexible. So it looks pretty good. Nice shiny base. 1999. So this is a pretty old casting as well. MP on the back looks very good. Well, if you take that out in the desert, it's going to end up looking like this one. This is version B. This one is pretty interesting because even the underside of the chassis is dirty, which is pretty interesting. Again, like I said, those little tiny details. I actually think that this one was actually sprayed with the quote-unquote dirt after it was assembled, before it was put in the blister, which is very interesting. I think that's not something that's common in the industry, to do anything with a casting once it's been completely assembled, but I'm pretty sure that's what they did with this one. So if you look at the chassis, it is all dirtied up and everything. So did a pretty good job on that. This one is, just dirty. It's not like, it's not going to come off in your hand or anything. It's all sprayed on there, so looks pretty good. I do like that version a lot. Dirty version. We're going to go to a ridiculously accessoried up Humvee. So I am not sure all the attachments on this. Obviously, it has a large push bar type deal on the front, which, I guess you got to plow your way through things. The flag probably indicates what the squadron is, or maybe even that it's U.S. or whatnot. So the center turret does rotate on this. I'll show you in a minute. And then it does have like these 4 placements on the top for like, maybe some chaff or, maybe some frag grenades or something like that. More defense, I think, than offense. And then it does have the attached spare tire on the back, which does have an attachment on it, but it doesn't swing away from the model. I think it looks great though. I think it looks great. Just so many pieces on this, and then of course this thing is ultra armored up. You can tell that the doors are much different than the last one, just because all the armor plating on them. Like I said, the top turret does rotate. It is super stiff. Let's see real quick. So there you go. It does rotate. It looks pretty good, and yes, it does rotate 360. It does miss all those little chaff grenades that are around it, so which is a pretty nice feature. Even Johnny Lightning's not missing that. And then just the same base, nothing different on that. Very nice detail on that spare tire attachment. So just wanted to show that off. Looks pretty good. Flat matte plate, matte paint. There we go. Can't talk all of a sudden. Version B. This one is just dirtied, except for the fact it does have a green painted roof or hood on it. This one does rotate much better. Very free. You don't even have to hold on to the model. Does rotate 360. There you go. Does miss all the attachments on it. So I like to show that off, that it's good. It's not a debacle as some things usually are. I'm gonna start working on getting this Abrams tank ready because I gotta assemble it. I like the Humvees. I think that they need even more of them, but I think what Johnny Lightning's doing is they're kind of running out of certain uses for the Hummer. I think that's why we see so many attachments on these two, and I think that's perfectly fine. I'm all for it, actually. So let's take a look at the M1A1, and let's just do this together. I think this would be better for you guys, just understanding the whole process. So first off, I'll throw the A1 on there. So that's directly out of the blister. I do need to fix the tracks. So this is one thing about the packaging that you'll experience if you pick these up. The tracks are always off 100% of the time. It's just the way that they're packaged in there. I mean, they're on an assembly line. They're trying to go as fast as they can and pack as many as they can. So the tracks never sit right. Usually it's one side or the other. Typically it's not both sides of the tracks. But you can see this is the one side of the track, which is very messed up on this particular version. It's actually popped all the way over. So we'll try to get that righted. And what we'll do is try to rotate some of the track. Try to straighten it up a little bit. It's very stiff. The tracks roll on this one as well, but only this axle right here actually rotates. They're definitely not meant to be driven. So Iron Horse, of course, does have a rotating turret, just like you'd expect. It is super stiff, directly out of the package. Get it going, it gets much better. It does have some nice attachments on the back. There's a kind of a cage back here, an attachment back here, a couple of gun emplacements on the top, and then your turret does rotate up and down a little bit. Does have that presence, I guess you can say. Looks pretty good, like the logo on the side. Base Dietz 2000 playing Mantis. This one's pretty interesting because they actually got a little bit of a camo print on the base, which is not something you typically would see. So seeing it from the back looks pretty decent. Now, this is where the attachment goes. There's two little holes right here. This is your Minesweeper piece. You can see there's two little studs on the top right there. Just pushes into there. Not sure how well it's going to stay. Oh, here we go. I think there's supposed to be a little clip on the front. Let's see here. A little clip right here that I believe once you get it in the holes. Man, these things are so fragile. Well, it doesn't want to stay. So I guess we could take a look at the other one, but that's essentially what it's supposed to look like when it's assembled. Let me see if I can get the other one assembled while you guys take a look at that. I can tell you right now, just from this assembly process, I'm not too happy with how this goes. Oh, there we go. Well, the other one attaches just fine, so it's just this one. I guess there's just not enough friction in those little pins. But essentially a roadblock clearer or a mine sweeper is what this is. This tank is enormous, by the way. It's probably one of the biggest castings that they make. So here is version B, all dirtied up with the attachment on it properly. Looking very, very good. It is exactly the same deco with exactly the same attachments in exactly the same places. In exactly the same color. It is just dirty. Just dirty. So that one's looking pretty good. I actually like this one a lot. I like this one a lot better than the clean one, actually, because when have you ever seen a clean tank? Pretty much never. Pretty much never. So there you go. That is Wheeled Warriors 2022 from Johnny Lightning. First mix of this year. Probably was supposed to come out last year, I would assume. Unfortunately, I guess it just got hung up or something. Supply chain issues, who knows, but it's here now, so we're excited to bring that to you. We like military stuff here. We do. It's just not common. It's hard to find, and I'm glad that Johnny Lightning still does military stuff, even though they only do like 1 or 2 releases a year. But anyways, there you go. Let me know what you think about those. Let me know if you have a favorite. Let me know if you have some concerns about those, because I certainly don't like the fact you have to assemble the tank now. But it is what it is. We have them now. We're super happy. Thank you very much. We're going to catch you next time. Level M. Saluting you. Peace.